trailers are a scam. They give away the whole movie. What's the point?
You can send it to me. I'm okay with that.
The deal is, Andy, you just don't believe in spoilers, and then there's nothing to be given away. So just tell me the thing. It's fine.
I don't care about spoilers necessarily. Here's the thing. And the study has been, hello, welcome to episode 492 of Debate the Pod. Debate on the Pod.
The film analysis podcast, formerly known as
we're going to drift into psychology here. People don't like things.
I wish this was a film analysis podcast.
We can do a film analysis podcast. We have to discuss. Well, we'll discuss it after the pod about, we've got episode 500 coming up. So
Wake Up Dead Man? I want to talk about that too.
Dude, Wake Up Dead Man was, I'll just say outright that I enjoyed it. Some people, see, this is the thing. Some people consider even that a spoiler.
That saying that you enjoyed it, that is...
Yes.
Okay. Come on now.
He listens to this podcast.
Okay, Ken. I know who you're talking about. That definitely Ken. Get a grip, Ken. Other people's opinions are not spoilers. It's just their opinions. I'm sorry that your tastes align too much, but that's a you problem.
Maybe I'm misrepresenting his opinion. We'll have to find out if I got it right or not. But there is a psychological.
We love Ken. To be clear, I'm sorry. I don't.
Yes, absolutely. He gets flack because we like him.
Yes.
And he often has opinions that you have to think, okay, I didn't consider that. Not because they're bad, just because,
totally. Again, friend of the pod, friend of all people.
Very much so. There is a psychological imperative to not be surprised, which is why people like scary movies so much. That have jump scares and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Your body goes into fight or flight mode. But
it's like the roller coaster, that kind of stuff. Yeah,
the comfort of not being surprised has drifted down towards spoilers being a thing people actually psychologically enjoy. They like to know what's going to happen before it happens.
I see and understand that feeling.
This is, based off of survey data and all that kind of stuff. But I fundamentally have a problem. And somebody called me out on it the other day while I was standing in a group. And they were like, you must be horrible to watch a movie with. I'm like, no, I have learned that I have to keep my mouth absolutely shut.
You know that about yourself.
It's filmmaking and storytelling, and a thing that I just spend a lot of time, or have spent a lot of time around. Logistically, there are choices that people make in these things, and if you work behind the scenes of them, you just know a lot of choices get made. You're like, oh, I know what's going to happen here because I know fundamentally the way the set is, or the way the shot is, or whatever, that this thing is going to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And trailers, especially for me these days, have become you could call it spoiler fest, because people want to know exactly what the movie is before you see it.
I understand this. It is opinion is the wrong word. I understand that mindset.
So
totally.
Annoyingly for me, I would have enjoyed finding out in this upcoming Spider-Man movie that a character I did not expect to be in the movie is in the movie. However, just scrolling through social media, somebody posted a picture of it. Am I upset about it? No, it's a spoiler, whatever. But when I watch a movie, not knowing a character like that is in it because I didn't watch the trailer is fun to me.
Sure, you still get that jump scare moment, right?
Right. So it's an easy thing to avoid.
Totally.
Like a trailer is an easy thing to avoid. And that's my TED Talk, episode 492. Speaking of spoilers, you and I, it sounds like, JJ, have been on a kick of entertainment that is actually somewhat difficult to spoil yourself on. We're both reading a lot of books.
Yeah, man. I have been continuing the Lord of the Year, as we discussed in previous podcasts.
Where are you at?
We are in the back part of Fellowship. I guess book 2.
Are you reading along or are you reading ahead?
I am not reading ahead. I am reading to the point that they are doing. So as I am current with the current most recently released podcast, and I am now reading the next portion.
As I am audiobooking with the kids, I am ahead. I am midway through the Two Towers, just to try and keep ahead of the podcast.
There's no possible way you could, like if you're already in Two Towers, you're like months and months in advance.
It doesn't happen quickly though, right? Like,
yeah, you get spurts, right? Like you do a thing where a long road trip, you read 500 pages, right?
This summer we will probably finish all 3 books, right? Yep. But that will happen because we'll be in the car a lot. Anyway, Lord of the Year's going pretty well. I think their aspiration to be naive readers has failed miserably.
Well, it failed as soon as they did the Council of Elrond and the lore dump happened. Which, look, as soon as the word ring wraith was printed in the text, now all of a sudden you can bring all the outside information in, right? Like it's just... And they even say it a couple of times in the podcasts. I don't know. Are you listening to all the podcasts, Andy?
I am, but I have not completed the most recent podcast.
So shelved by genre is what we're talking about, folks. If you want to go catch up.
It's long. Each episode is 3 hours-ish.
Yeah. And it's really good. I want to say like it is. I enjoy it a lot.
It has markedly improved from The Hobbit.
Their
reading of The Hobbit was too farcically memed, I think, in terms of like, we're gonna do this way, and it was like, you guys are just being silly.
I think they cottoned on to the responses to that and were like, okay, let's like be a little more serious.
They adapted. Good for them.
And the text got more serious too, right? To be clear.
100%. Absolutely.
So anyway, the most recent reading is through the Council of Elrond, and the next set of reading goes all the way through Moria and Lothlorien. So I think is coming up into some big, momentous events here.
Really, the book after Lothlorien is the moment when everything actually happens. 90% of the stuff you remember, like vividly, is kind of after Lothlorien, which is weird. Right?
You mean Rivendell? Yeah.
Yeah, but like
you don't remember Moria? Moria
is
the kickoff.
Moria
point,
is
right?
very short.
Oh yeah.
When I read the book, I was like shocked that like I thought Moria was much longer than this. It was like
one
chapter and a half.
They're in and out. Yeah.
And then they're like, now we're in Lothlorien and we're gonna be here for like 3 chapters, and then we're gonna leave.
Actually,
do, like,
one chapter.
It's our maybe chapters 2 of wandering.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of stuff happens.
Looking at the page count in Fellowship of the Ring, they don't get to Rivendell until page like 200.
Yeah, so it's a long time.
If you remember the movies, you're like, there's like 30 minutes of stuff, and then they're in Rivendell. No, 200 pages.
After having done all this, why did they put that scene with Radagast the Brown into the extended thing? You know what I'm talking about?
For The Hobbit, you mean?
Yeah.
Why did they do anything in those Hobbit movies? Those Hobbit movies are terrible.
I've gotten far enough in now that I'm like, maybe that thing was, maybe some of the stuff they added, we talked about in the podcast about the Hobbit movies. They added some of it because it's in Lord of the Rings, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
In Lord of the Rings, they explain these things that happened during the Hobbit, in the Council of Elrond and other places. Yeah. But that Radagast scene just never happens, and I feel like it was like he went back and was like, I really messed up leaving out Tom Bombadil. I should have done it. I wasn't brave enough. I'm gonna throw Radagast in here like a weird Tom Bombadil.
Well, spoilers. Stephen Colbert and Peter Jackson are picking up the pieces now, Andy.
Michael is unconvinced Tom Bombadil will be in that movie.
Wait, what? I don't think that was my opinion.
Oh, really?
No, I think my opinion was I don't see a good reason why he shouldn't be in that movie.
I thought your questioning of why couldn't, when I said you can't really do the section of the movie that they want to do without Tom, you're like, but why?
No,
so I thought I took that the wrong way.
But why can't they just put Tom in?
Oh, yeah, sure.
They're not.
I think
They're not
I think
necessarily beholden to the choices of the past to leave him out.
I think we're aligned in that if you're doing that section of the book, there's nothing in that section of the book if you don't have Tom.
Mm-hmm.
You're certainly writing around a lot of things that just go much more smoothly if you have a really cool, weird character.
Which they could do, right?
Mhm.
It's not impossible, but
back to shelved by genre. Why do they hate Tom Bombadil so much?
no, I didn't get the impression that they hated him.
One of the guys literally says he hates Tom Bombadil.
Okay. Which one? I don't remember.
I don't remember the main host guy that does the recaps.
Okay, so that's Danny, not Michael.
I'm pretty sure it's Danny. He said that he liked the section more than when he was a kid. He liked some of the stuff that happens in it, but he hated Tom Bombadil.
I think he expresses a bunch of like, why do we have to read all these songs? And Tom Bombadil is literally the epitome of like, let's sing a bunch of songs.
Apparently, the lack of rhyming is due to Tolkien not being able to carry a tune.
That piece of information is extremely funny. It's like
which is also why I was glad that they started actually talking about stuff from outside the books, because like I'm not a huge Tolkienite. I don't like research all this stuff, and finding little anecdotes like that, like, oh, okay, that's fun.
Well, and like hearing all the shit that Tolkien talked about his son being in the RAF, like, is very interesting to hear that like Tolkien was like, why do you have to go work in these goddamn death machines? Like, and you're just like, oh God, he's like really not excited about it. Which, you know, sure. He's like, but you could be back here editing my book, son. It's like, whoa, Dad, okay.
Come type my book with your broken fingers.
Yeah, like, whoa, Dad. He's like doing something for his country, and you're just like, but you could be helping me write a book. Like, ooh, not a good look.
Well, I do find myself reading more thanks to my what do I do every year list.
Yeah.
I did find last year that I've read nonfiction books very slowly. Even ones that I was interested in, it took me months sometimes to finish them. This year, I was like, I got to read more. So I'm going to start off with some fiction books. I've been ripping through like some World War II historical fiction, which is more like it's real, but it's fictionalized. So there's a story. A lot of manga, Inuyasha manga also. But it sounds like you're ripping through one of the all-time great fiction books.
My wife turned me onto this, I guess. So rewind to the podcast we did on Comic-Con last year. You guys remember my wife went to a panel where they gave away a bunch of free coffee?
I do remember this.
Yes.
That author wrote a book this year that was a sequel to The Maltese Falcon, which is like a weird thing to say and do, right?
Is the Maltese Falcon in public domain?
It's from the 20s.
Oh, so yeah,
30s.
it would have already.
So maybe
it's in. It was printed in the 30s.
The movies came out in the 30s. I
no,
think the book is from the 20s. Okay,
the movie's from the 40s because the Bogart's in it, right?
Isn't Bogart Humphrey Bogart's in it for sure.
Yeah, it's got to be from the 40s.
I don't know when the book was or wasn't printed. I got the impression it takes place in the like late 20s for sure because they like mentioned.
Oh yeah,
dates.
I mean, you would write a book that took place in the 20s later on in the 30s, right?
Years. Oh, so it would have just entered public domain last year.
Yeah, I want to say
95 years from 95 years from publication date.
There
you
go.
In 1930.
It was 1930. Okay, interesting.
Yep.
So the character Sam Spade, I guess, was free for use, and so that's how this happened. But my wife was like, well, if I'm going to read this book, I got to read the first book. And I'm like,
no kidding. Yeah.
Yeah, you should, I guess. You know, she likes mysteries and detective stuff. And anyway, so I'm like, all right. You know, so she reads it and she's like, hey, JJ, you should read this. She's like, I want to watch the movie. I'm like, oh, hell yeah, we're going to watch Maltese Falcon? Like, let's go. Not available on any streaming services, shockingly.
Why is that?
I know you're not surprised by that. Like that.
I'm not surprised by it, but I don't know why it's like this. Like why
none of the studios want to pay any money to old rights holders and estates beyond a certain time period. I don't know why this is.
Yeah.
Like it's true though. Like I think the oldest movie on Netflix is like The Sting from the 70s.
Yeah.
Wow.
What maybe Criterion? What about Criterion? They have their own streaming thing. They probably have old movies.
So I think you're right about that. This is not one of those though. I checked
Mhm.
the like, is it available on any streaming services website thing? And they
Okay.
said no.
Oh.
But look, man, the internet provides. if you got to find, and the library can get it right. Like it's not an impossible thing
bro.
to find.
Like yeah, the library and the high seas are making a real fast comeback around here.
Yeah. So I'm not too worried. We'll watch it. But so I am reading the Maltese Falcon, the original book, from the 30s. This copy from our library is from the 80s, and I think is just as old as me.
Wow. Excellent.
Yeah, I have to go look at the publication date again, but it's very, very clearly like old in a way that you're like, whoa, this book is ancient.
Mhm.
But the story holds up, man. Like it's good. I think the only problem, which again is not a, if you're an adult, it's not a problem. If you were younger trying to read this, you might struggle with some of the slang, I think.
Oh, sure.
The period. Yeah.
Yeah, period slang, okay, like people know what a copper is. You could probably figure that out. But like when he tells them everything is Jake and a lot of different words for cigarettes and like guns and women and slang terms for private detective stuff, that if you're not exposed to that stuff, I don't know how much like a younger reader would know.
Yeah.
But I think the narrative is good, like he's, it's heavily implied that characters are sleeping together, but they don't show or talk about it other than like they stay the night together. And then the next morning they're having breakfast.
Yeah.
And
Classic.
you're just like,
I know
they
what
had
happened
sex, but we didn't talk about that.
No. They
And-
slept in Desi and Lucy beds.
Yeah, separate I Love Lucy beds. Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah. Pan to the wind ruffling the curtains and the
400%, Michael.
Uh-huh.
So, it's all that like, early 1900s stuff.
What was it? Friend of the pod, Sean, with his they're brushing their teeth. You know what that means. I'll never forget. I will never forget that. I was like, what does it mean, Sean?
What does it mean?
Very funny.
Very
cool.
And like talking about constantly, the hard smoke. First off, like people these days, especially out here in the West where smoking is very uncool, frowned upon, they smoke so much. At every scene, the guy is rolling a cigarette and smoking it. Like it literally, it's talking about pulling out papers, pulling out tobacco, rolling them, smoking them, having women roll them and smoke them for you. Like it is just like constantly talking about cigarettes and how cool they are. So you can see where people got the like, wow, this stuff is propaganda for tobacco.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think it was down. We're down to like 10% of people in the U.S. smoke cigarettes now.
Yeah, and like vaping is a big reason why, right? Like a lot of people transition to that, and
I think
debatable
the
whether
numbers
that's less bad, but
I think it's only another 10% if you just say any tobacco use.
Any nicotine
So,
usage, yeah.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, in terms of that.
Look, it's a better health outcome for everyone involved, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they didn't care about that because Sam Spade had his fedora pulled low and his eyes were
Sam.
steely gray.
Get him, Sam.
Yeah.
He was holding a gun in his pocket that he didn't let the dame know about.
Oh boy.
But yeah, it's fun. And to be clear, the book is like a breeze to read. Like, assuming you get past all the slang and stuff, which if you can understand any context and, you've read a fair amount of literature of any sort, I think you would be able to breeze through this very quickly.
Yeah.
It's just a page turner. You get to the end of the chapter and it's like, and a voice is heard from outside and you're like, dun, 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 next chapter.
Has she ever read the original Orient Express?
I don't know.
That would
Agatha
be another
Christie,
one to
right?
get
Like
through.
is
Yeah.
a classic, of course.
Yeah.
I know we've seen her and I the movie remake of it that happened a while back.
Mhm.
But I don't know if she's read the book. She'd probably like it.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you know what existed in spades in the 30s and 40s?
Nice.
Hey, I like it.
Wonderfully tailored suits.
Yeah, that's a whole like lot. Man, you guys follow the menswear guy on the internet?
Yes.
I don't, but I should. I know I
He's
should.
all over the place. That's true.
You should follow the menswear guy, Michael. You learn a lot of stuff. You're just like, man, people used to look good all the time. What happened?
I would very much like to send him some clips of things sometimes when I see them in movies, and I'm like, why is this guy's suit doing this? Why didn't they tell him to unbutton this? Why are the shoulders
why did
like
he
that?
sit down with the coat buttoned? You're just like, come on, man.
Oh man, yeah, that was bad. That was bad. What are we talking about with tailoring here, though, JJ?
So, following and listening to the menswear guy a bunch, I was like, he always every now and then posts a bunch of stuff of like, hey, if you want to get into the world of custom tailoring and like doing this stuff, here's how you could, if you decided that that's something you wanted. There are people who will just make shirts to your measurements out there.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, but like, how much does this cost, right? This is an insane amount of money. Well, is it an insane amount of money though?
Are you saying that tailored shirts are the same as something from Nordstrom Rack?
How much is something from Nordstrom Rack, Andrew?
I don't know, like $45.
Okay, so like a nice button-down shirt, let's say. Button-up shirt.
Yeah.
Ooh, I gotta get my phrasing right. Button-up shirt. A button-down shirt is the one with the collar that has buttons.
Okay. I did not know that.
Yeah, so if your collar has buttons on it, the edges of the collar, like the points,
that's kind of a dead thing. They don't have that anymore.
I literally own one right now.
But why though? I mean, like it's not a popular thing. Is why.
No, it's certainly it's a style. You want it or you don't want it, right? But yeah, so like a button, like an Oxford button-down shirt, right?
Yes, they are somewhat dated.
It is a look, right?
I overestimated by roughly $10. So let's round it to like 50. Okay. There's some in the 40s, but there's most in the 50s.
Okay, so let's say $50.
Sure.
You buy a shirt and they come in like medium, large, extra large, right?
It's and then slim fit, short sleeves,
and like neck sizes, right?
Yeah.
So say you buy one of those. What is the chance you're going to feel really good in the fit of that shirt?
Coin toss.
Depends on how long you shop for it, right?
Yeah. So
how long are you willing to keep trying things until you do feel good in a shirt?
So say, you know your build, your collar size, your arm situation, and you're like, okay, I'm going to be a large with a collar that's like a little bit bigger than normal, and I don't want slim fit. So I'm going to find one of these eventually and try it on. You'll be like, this is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
What if you paid another $35 and gave them your measurements and they just made whatever shirt you want out of whatever material you want?
I think you're talking about income brackets here, where you are at a stage in your life to own things that are good and permanent.
Yes, that is the other part of this that I was going to get into.
Yeah. I think you're really talking about different brackets of shopping. And if you're in the bracket of shopping where you can drop 85 to 100 on a shirt and say, it's great because I can keep it forever, then you probably should do that thing, right?
Which I think if you're, so if you're 20 and you're going to a wedding, like
buy a $40 or $50 shirt at Nordstrom Rack,
like that's overkill, honestly. Like find a $30 one, whatever, that's the right color. Like who cares?
Sure.
But I go to work every day and I need to wear clothes that look good. I have to have, and I'm wearing them frequently, clothes wear out. You got to like replace them. You don't want to have, stuff that being washed frequently, like wearing out. And, my measurements aren't changing that much at this point, unless I'm really screwing up.
Yeah.
Maybe in the wrong direction it's changing, but it's got to do some more working out. But the measurements are kind of what they are at this point on this one. Maybe, in 5 years I get shorter by an inch or something. So I think you're correct, Andy, that it makes sense that just like invest in a thing that's just going to last for, that amount of time, and then, buy 3 or 4 different ones and then never buy shirts again. right? Especially for something like, an office job like I have, where it barely matters what I wear as long as that I'm dressed well, and then I look, relatively presentable all the time.
So that was my thing. Is like, do you need a tailored shirt for work? Most people these days are wearing jeans and a short sleeve button up.
Yep.
Or even
button down. Oh, yeah.
No, it could be
button
a button up or button down.
Yeah.
But or even a polo. I mean,
so I do wear jeans and polos frequently.
Yeah, so you don't need a shirt like this for work.
No, but I don't need it. But I do like having nice shirts to wear sometimes, right?
Well, this falls into the jeans you bought as well, right? Like, once you're of the stage that you can afford things that last a long time, you should get them. That's why I bought a Vitamix.
Totally. Like,
right?
I don't need to have $20 jeans 5 times a year or, whatever. Like 5 pairs of $20 jeans over 5 years. I can buy 1 pair of $100 jeans for 5 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And exactly. I think about shirts the same way. Like those, like, especially the like tech bro style, like performance polo, athletic golf polo thing. Like those shirts are nice while you're wearing them. But like after you wear them for like 6 months, they kind of start wearing out and like the fibers break down and they're not as comfortable anymore.
Yeah. There's also probably if you can afford to do it, a good advocacy for supporting natural fiber production as well, like getting yourself into cotton and other types of natural fiber stuff to support those industries.
Bamboo.
Yeah. And so this is the stuff that I wanted to talk about is like, the custom tailoring is truly custom. Do you want to have sleeves of a certain length? Like you want to make a long sleeve shirt, but with short sleeves? They'll just do it. You want cuffs that look like this? You want pockets in a certain way? Do you want the placket where the buttons go down to be of a style? Do you want a collar to be like weird and spread out, or like a camp collar, or like all these different types of things? It's just like, it's a drop down menu. You just select what you want. Like there's 400,000 options you can combine, and then you just type in your measurements. Like, do the, if you know how to measure yourself, but like there's like, from the nape of your neck all the way down to your wrist, and then, various measurements around your waist and your midsection and your arms and your chest and all this stuff. And it's like, you just type all this stuff in, and then the shirt shows up. And of course, if it doesn't fit, you can return it for free. And they'll make you it. You can pick your colors. You can pick the cloth. So they have like a list of like 500 cloths of like various types. I don't even know what the heck some of these are. Some of them are like more expensive or less expensive. It's like, why is this one more? I don't know. It's blue. Like, what does that mean? I have no idea. It's like, broadcloth and linens and Oxford type materials and things like this. And you're just like, it is truly infinitely customizable if you're willing to pay a little bit more. Now, the website I did this on also sells ready-to-made ones in a lot of various styles, but less customizable, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I want a short sleeve shirt, they have only so many options, right?
Right.
So it just opened my eyes to the fact that like, if I spend, $65 on a ready-to-wear to made one, that's going to fit probably pretty good. I can get one that fits perfectly for like $15 more.
That feels well worth it.
That feels completely to whatever I want, and is the color I want, and the material that I want.
Yeah.
The trick is, it doesn't show up very quickly.
No, because then someone has to make it to those specifications.
I order it, and it takes almost a month to get here.
The other thing that you're going to have to account for also is these types of shirts sometimes need to be dry cleaned.
Yeah. Which would be a problem if my wife wasn't already using dry cleaning relatively frequently for like sweaters and stuff that she wears.
Right. So if you're already on a regular rotation of taking stuff, then it just gets added to the pile.
Exactly. But you're 100% right, Andy. If you were not dry cleaning this stuff before, it will get messed up badly, and you probably need to be doing that.
Well, and it requires a budget, right? Because like you dry clean it, it's like $4 around here to get something dry cleaned.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that was old people chat.
I know this is exciting news for the kids out there, but
Yeah.
As
Look
our
at,
rockers
looking good
rocking
costs some money,
stuff.
and that shirt looks pretty good.
I also think though it's good for people younger than us, or maybe even people older than us, that are entering a stage where they're like, I don't need to buy things necessarily. I have all the clothes I need. Oh, something wore out. What should I replace it with? It's not just clothes. It's all sorts of things you buy. And it's like you're buying
100%.
something now that you can afford to upgrade it to something that will last you forever. Maybe you should think about it rather than, oh, it's $10 cheaper, $20 cheaper.
Yeah, instead of
Not
just
to.
buying things, invest in things.
Yeah.
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 And it's not like, I'm not going to then go out and buy like 6 more of these shirts and then just wear a rotation of these every day. That's just not like, that's not the style and life that I live.
Mm-hmm.
But it is nice to say, like, when I have to dress up or I need to look, presentable for meetings or whatever, like, I have a go-to shirt that's just there and looks good. And I don't have to wear the one that has like, Deadpool or Dragon Ball Z on it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Well, who should get into custom stuff is Frito-Lay, because
Yeah.
I think, based on these chips that you guys had me try, that it would be pretty dang cool if you could just be like, you know what? I want to try this chip with that flavor.
Design your own, like a Coke
Like an
freestyle
M&M.
machine.
Yeah.
They just have like a bag of a box of chips and then like bags of flavor crystals that you just like blast onto them things.
Yeah. It would be pretty sick, huh?
I'm into it.
I tried the custom chips. Michael was kind enough to get us some. Not only did I try them, I made the whole household try them. So I have some reports.
I love it.
Yeah, I have some reports. The kids continue to love the Dorito as a chip.
So
No
the
matter
Dorito
what flavor
chip,
is on
which
it.
tastes like, what's the
Sour
flavor on that?
cheese.
Like,
It's sour cream and cheddar from Ruffles.
Okay.
So all of our opinion on the Dorito was that it just tasted like cheese chip that didn't have enough cheese on it.
Yeah, so JJ, that's the one you didn't try, right?
Correct. So this is the one I haven't had.
So
Okay.
of the 3, this is the one where the flavor of the base chip is the most prominent flavor.
The
The flavor,
Dorito,
the Dorito
Dorito-ness,
flavor.
the
You-
essential
you-
Doritosity cannot be reduced.
You
Yes.
jumped in with both feet into something I was going to work my way into here, Michael.
No, sorry.
But no, it's fine. Let's just jump straight to the point because sometimes I go on too long. But I did not realize that a Doritos flavor is 50% in the chip.
Okay.
And one of the reasons that I think the Ruffle with the Cool Ranch, everyone was surprised by the flavor and being like, I don't know what this doesn't taste like Cool Ranch, is because Cool Ranch is affected by the Doritos base flavor.
the
Yes.
Doritosity is missing.
Yes. And that's why it tastes off to you. So after you eat a couple of the Cool Ranch ones, you're like,
Then it-
I taste the ranch now.
You finally get to it.
Yeah. Okay. I believe and understand that with my experience of those chips now.
So the wife and I agreed, however, our favorite was the Cheeto spicy barbecue. Boldest, most interesting flavor, least affected by the base chip flavor.
Agreed.
I really, as a Cheetos haver, are you guys into this? The Flamin' Hot Cheetos? They're like a big thing down here. I don't know if that's a thing up there. Okay.
Yeah, we like them. Yeah, we don't buy them very often because it's horrific for your health. But
they're terrible
Well,
for you.
yes.
But like, I go to Mexican restaurants and they just have like Flamin' Hot Cheetos with stuff. It's
Well,
like
there's a
that's
thing-
one of
I
the
don't know
things
if
on the
you-
menu.
do you have street carts down near you that do this, where you bring a bag? Do they do this down there? In LA, they do this all the time.
So you bring a bag of chips and they just like make a thing in the bag for you?
Yeah, so like instead of like a birria taco or whatever, they'll take all the stuff, the fixins for tacos and stuff, like guisado style meats. You bring a bag of chips, whatever size bag you want, and they will load it up with all the internal fixins on top of your chip bag.
It's a
So they
riff
just
on
slice
it's
it
a
up
riff on
inside.
Frito pie.
It is a riff on Frito pie, but a lot of people in the line will have Flamin' Hot Cheeto bags.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure.
I have never seen this, but those carts exist in downtown San Diego. I just haven't frequented them because I'm not old enough. I'm too old to go to clubs anymore. So I assume this is happening, but I haven't seen it.
That's cool. So that's my report on the chip situation.
So I think the consensus around our house was that, like, yeah, I'm a barbecue chip disliker generally.
mhm.
So I wasn't super into the barbecue Cheeto. However, the barbecue Cheeto was like the most interesting for sure.
Mhm.
In terms of
I
like, it's like the most different thing, in terms of that chip and that flavor.
I did try them in front of Michael, and I think we both had that revelation moment of like the Dorito flavor is the thing. The chip flavor changes everything about all these other chips. And that was a wild moment to just be like, "Oh, wow, it really is." I had never had naked Doritos, by the way, personally. So a lot of people were like, "Haven't you had those?" I'm like, "No, I don't know that." So
I don't know that I have either. Maybe that's why I was so surprised by that. Because I think the only Doritos I've ever had are like nacho cheese, Cool Ranch, and the shoot, what's the other one they have?
the spicy one, the
Yeah,
spicy
the
flavor
spicy one. Yeah.
Yeah, you should go out and find, because they've
Tur-
brought them back and they're in grocery stores
yeah,
right now.
our Target
The-
has them right now. They're in a big white bag that says
Yes.
NKD on it.
Yes.
Oh, so just like the no flavor Doritos.
Yeah,
no
Interesting.
seasoning, just the
No
flavor of
seasoning.
the chip, and they're very tasty.
They
on their
are
own.
flavored. They are 100% flavored. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. Do they
Mhm.
like get stuff on your hands just by
Nope.
themselves?
Mm-mm.
No, because it's almost like
Mm.
you're eating tortilla chips, but instead of that, that masa-ish flavor, it's
yeah,
just
their
the
blend of
Dorito
whatever it
signature.
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the spices are in the masa. Yeah.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Fascinating. Well, as we run headlong into other things, we should find out how you do in Slay the Spire when your character is naked.
Badly.
Yeah.
I need one of you two to get this game. I desperately want to play a co-op run.
Okay.
I
All right,
want to
hold on.
play it so bad.
Let me see. I'm gonna pull this up.
One of these days. I have been grinding a little bit. I think my goal is to win a run with each character, and then I'll start doing ascensions. For folks who've played those games before, you win a run, and your character like gains a level in the ascensions, which like basically are just
First, you got to
modifiers
win
that
a
make it
run.
harder. Yeah, look, it's not
one thing at a time.
one thing at a time, exactly.
Oh, it's
But you're
still early access?
Yes, Andy, it's still early access. There's so much stuff in this game, dude. So much stuff. It might be in early access for like 2 years. You can do the whole tower. There's multiple versions of, I think, at least Acts 1 and 3. I don't know about Act 2. Different bosses, different. It's a complete game in so much as one of these can be a complete game.
Did you
5 characters? The original only launched with 3. Like, it is a big thing.
Did you ever discover if like you need to, or so in the original Slay the Spire, you unlocked new cards by doing stuff?
Yes.
So do you think that will affect multiplayer? Like I would need to join you after playing a bunch so that I have better cards?
No, I don't think so. So there are multiplayer exclusive cards apparently that
Mhm.
exist, and only when you're in a multiplayer game will you see them.
Interesting.
But the
Smart.
cards your character unlocks that as you play more with them and do various things aren't. First off, there's not very many of those. It's a lot more of like relics and the artifacts and stuff that you get, and colorless cards, like the cards that just go in that anyone can get access to.
Mm-hmm.
So there's much more of those than class specific cards. But the cards that you have aren't going to affect me in the co-op run, because in the co-op run I'm playing a different character than you, and I have access to my stuff and you have access to your stuff. And so it's not really a hindrance there, I don't think.
Okay.
And from my understanding, wins in co-op count. So,
oh, got it.
So I'm not clear, like, can you like do all the ascensions in co-op only or whatever? And is that separate from if you're playing single player versus multiplayer? I don't know. I haven't delved into it that much. But I can say that I've won a run with the Ironclad, the Silent, and the Defect.
What about
Oh, sorry, and the Necrobinder, not the Defect and not the Regent, who's new.
what about the Guardian, the Hermit, the Hexagast, or the Slime?
You cannot play as the bosses of the towers like you can in the card game.
I was wondering if you'd pick up on
I knew where you were
what I was
going with
talking
that.
about. Yeah. Did you know that this was live?
I knew that card game existed, yeah.
Okay. They are currently taking pledges, Michael, to do the expansion to the board game, which is like a card game.
Okay.
They are at $5 million.
Well funded.
Wow. All right.
Yeah. 25,000 people backing. I assume because you can probably get the original game that was out of print as part of the Kickstarter.
I think that, yes, probably, but also I think the game is extremely popular.
And the expensive. Holy shit.
It's a lot of cards in it.
The base game is $160.
It's a lot of cards in it, you know?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
The thing I've heard is that, so the thing I've heard from others who have played, the board game version of the game does multiplayer differently than the actual game here.
Oh, okay.
In ways that is both good and, well, I guess it's just different. I don't know.
Is it cooperative?
In the card game, yes, and in the multiplayer of the Slay the Spire 2, also yes, but in different ways.
Okay.
I believe the board game, some of the rules allow you to use cards on other people more freely.
I see.
And in the real game, Slay the Spire 2, it's a little bit less possible for you to use cards on other people. And maybe that changes over the course of early access, who knows, but at least as the way it is now, there's a lot less of my ability to affect what you are doing.
Gotcha.
Not that there's none. Certainly there's ways for some of that to happen, but it's a lot less.
Well, that sounds fascinating. I am sold on trying to get through the early access block that I have in my brain. We'll make this multiplayer thing happen. There's no multiplayer, however, I think in Minishoot Adventures, Michael?
There is not. It is just you and your guns against the world.
Who needs it? It's just John Wick the whole board.
Yeah.
It's me and these 245s.
But yeah, so last week when we talked, I had just about finished up the demo, and I had just the one main dungeon left to go, and I had kind of saved it for last. And when I finally got into it, I hadn't really considered just how much like a Zelda game this was, in the sense that there was a power up inside the dungeon, because of course there was, right? In every 8 and 16-bit Zelda game, you get a new item that unlocks a new ability in the dungeon, right? That's how it works. And this one unlocked one that would have let me do a few more things, or a few things more easily, as I was exploring the rest of the demo. So, lesson learned. But yeah, had a great time with it. Immediately picked up the full thing. So played around a little bit more, explored a bit more.
And did you find that the transfer was easy as the internet told you it was?
It was. It was my first venture into putting my Steam Deck into desktop mode.
Yeah, welcome to the party, man.
Yeah, it's relatively straightforward.
It's not too bad.
Yeah,
it sucks when you can't see the tiny little thing.
Yeah, sometimes some of the pop-ups cover up some of the options on the cut and paste windows.
Yeah,
and you can't exactly move stuff around as easily because you don't have a mouse. But beyond that, it was pretty easy to navigate to the right folder, copy over my demo files, and shout out to the developers who made it so that you can just copy the demo files into your main directory, and the full game will read them as if they were save files that had been created from the start.
That is how it should work,
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah,
that rules.
How long a game do you feel like it is?
That's a good question. It probably took me an hour and a half, hour and 45 to really explore everything that was in the demo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how many dungeons there are total in the full thing. I imagine if it's like a Zelda game, there are probably 8. So call it maybe 10 hours.
Is this fully? So you said it's very much a Zelda thing, but like,
Oh,
is it all
yes.
the way a Zelda thing where like at the end of the dungeon you get a thing that like lets you do more stuff in the overworld too?
So the thing that you got for beating that first dungeon at least is very much akin to the medallions that you get in Link to the Past. So there's a little animation of the medallion popping into a door that has slots for 4 medallions.
Okay. Does it give you like an attack or something then also? Some kind of
No,
power?
so you get the power in the dungeon, sort of a la opening the big chest.
Okay.
Right,
And
so
then you can use that.
you beat a room full of waves of enemies, and then you find your way, into the treasure room, and you get the power up, and it lets you explore the back half of the dungeon, right?
Mhm.
Very much the Zelda thing. Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty much full on.
Did you get any time in the demo to explore that gigantic almost sphere grid thing, or was it something you have to start now that you haven't really had a chance on?
Gigantic, almost sphere grid thing. Oh,
Y
you mean
your
the
your upgrade tree
the
in
upgrade
Minishoot
tree? Oh,
Adventures
yeah,
is
yeah, yeah.
massive looking. It looks like a just like endless supply of upgrades.
Yes, so it does let you start to fill in the upgrade tree as you go along, and I don't think if you're willing to put the time in, I don't think that there is a limit to how quickly you can fill in at least the base level of it,
Mhm.
because anytime your ship gets destroyed, you start back at the main village, but your progress and experience gains stay where they were, and almost all of the enemies that you defeated respawn on the map.
Okay.
So you can just sort of, wash, lather, rinse, repeat with beating enemies and gaining experience crystals and filling in slots on that tree without really ever going anywhere. Yeah,
Fun.
it is really nice that it lets you put crystals as you gain them. As you gain an experience level, you get another crystal to slot into the tree, and it lets you respec those crystals on the fly without any loss.
Do you think that there's a level cap, or is it just gonna be like, "No, I can just keep farming this and upgrade everything?"
I do not know. There doesn't seem to be a number associated with it, at least that I remember seeing. It just keeps saying, your little gauge fills up and it says level up,
Mhm.
and you have another crystal to use. So it might cap when you reach the full number that you can fill in on the tree.
Yeah.
But that's
But
like
beyond
so
that, it
many.
doesn't look like, yeah, that's going to be a lot, because the cost of each successive upgrade for any one of the particular skills grows with each crystal that you slot in. So the first one is 1, the next one is 3, the next one is 5.
Yeah. Nice.
The classic, if you want to farm 8 million little enemies, they'll let you. But,
Yep, you're gonna be here for a while.
yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of rocket ships, did you guys realize that they're launching the Artemis 2 tomorrow?
I knew it
Unless
was happening soon, but I didn't know
Yes.
like tomorrow.
Yes, I do, because of all the April Fool's jokes that I have seen about it.
Did you see the like map and everything of how they're launching this thing and shooting it off to the moon and how much longer it's going to take to get to the moon and back? That was wild to me. It's like, oh, we did it in 6 days before, but now we're going to do it in like 9 at a leisurely pace
Yeah.
with a much bigger rocket. I don't know. It's weird that there's not more hype to me, or maybe I'm just in the wrong circles on the internet.
I think it's a little bit of the like NASA funding situation is not letting them market anything.
Yeah.
Sure,
But
sure.
also maybe just sort of these days there are so many rocket launches that it's not
The
the
4 people
event
on this
and
rocket, and they're going to the moon.
Yeah, the
sure,
going to the
sure.
moon part is unique, right?
Yes. But the just like cutting through cutting through the noise, it's not like everyone
Well, there's
stops for the rocket launch anymore.
And there's so many gestures broadly going on.
Also that.
Yeah, it's not the 1960s moment that it was, right?
I mean, I think it's cool, and I think it is interesting the way the Artemis 2 is not the Saturn V, right? Like, it's a very different thing.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Yeah, you should line them up next to each other. It's wild.
Yeah. So it's cool, modern electronics, like going out into space, like doing more, cool stuff. Like it's interesting,
Yeah.
The very funny thing that I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but the criticism I hear of like the Artemis program in general is like, it worked in the 50s and 60s. Why don't we just make a Saturn V again and do that? We physically can't. Those industries and technology literally do not exist anymore.
Right.
There is that. Yep.
Yeah, like the things that we used to build those, the materials we used, the manufacturing bases that built those things aren't present. Like, just don't exist.
Well, and also everything costs 4 times as much, so you need to be able to get 4 times more use out of whatever you're building.
Yes,
absolutely,
well,
yeah.
Some of that is safety standards having increased exponentially since, we put ourselves on the moon with duct tape and spit.
Well, and,
right.
And, we have the technology to not launch them to the moon in a tin can connected to a tin foil lander with spider legs, that they could put their finger through.
And even if you wanted to accept all the danger and all the risk, of which there is still a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even if you wanted to accept all of those risks that they did again, it's just not feasible to get modern things up in the same way that was done then. It's just the weight value, the weight numbers are just higher. Like, things are just heavier. And so you need a different system, a different rocket. And science has advanced that, like, why would you do it that way? We learned so many things after that are better. You know?
Like, actually, you don't launch the rocket this way anymore. You launch it this way because it's 10 times more fuel efficient.
Yeah, it's like, oh, do you want to like just waste a bunch of energy like forcing your way up straight? Like, what if you use the gravity assist thing? It's like free electricity, Like,
yeah,
why not?
Yeah. Wild. Well, hopefully people pay attention. That's going to be cool to see. I know that it has nothing to do with being in the heavens, but it's a good transition from talking about the heavens to the movie The Heavenly Creatures, which is, I assume, not anything about space at all, JJ?
Correct. Nothing about it. Do you guys know anything about this movie? Do you even know what it is?
I've never heard of it before. You said put it on the list.
I've heard the name.
This movie is one of, I don't know if it's the, but it might be the first movie directed by Peter Jackson.
Oh, okay.
Oh, well, all right.
It is about a pair of girls in 1950s New Zealand.
Nice.
All right.
And a very famous murder that happened in that area.
Oh,
at that time.
Uh-oh.
It's a very interesting movie. I've never seen a movie quite like this. Apparently also the acting debut of Kate Winslet.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
that. I don't know that I knew about Peter Jackson before Frighteners.
Yeah, so this was not a like well released movie, I guess. It got like famous on like, movie circuits or whatever, like that kind of stuff, art movie festivals and stuff like that, but I don't know that it got like a super wide release. I had never heard of it. And I had never heard of this like specific murder case, which is like one of those like famous murders that everyone from an area knows about, which like I had never heard of either. Which made the movie kind of awkward because I think you're supposed to know the end result the whole time, and like it builds up to it, in ways that you're supposed to like see the foreshadowing,
Oh, okay.
And maybe had you been a New Zealander and knew this history.
And I was just like confused a lot of the time.
Oh, because they may be leaving things out?
Well, no, it's just like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, what? Like, not that it doesn't explain, the plot happens, phenomenologically. Like, it's not like they're, anything is like happening in ways that you don't understand. But like, the movie is clearly like making you feel a thing, and it has like ominous tones of like these girls are playing in the woods. Why is this ominous? Like what's weird, you know? But you're supposed to see that like this is the precursor to what eventually happens. It's a really weird movie, just like really weird. I don't know what to tell you about it. I don't know if I even want to recommend that you see it. Certainly I can see how Kate Winslet got extremely popular out of this. Like she does a really good job in this movie. But like she's not really the two girls are sort of like the co-leads. But the other girl, whose name I don't remember.
Okay.
The Kate Winslet, sort of the blonde, rich friend, and the other one more working class, dark-haired girl, is kind of the one who takes the darker turn earlier, I guess. And the movie's sort of more focused on her, I guess, just as a, like, again, you're supposed to know what happens here, I think. And so, like, that's why you're more interested in what happened with her.
Okay.
But, like, I don't know that actress went on to do anything else big that I've ever heard of. And so it was just a very interesting, like, process of, like, going through, like, learning about a, like, section of something from a land that I, have never been to and don't know a lot about other, than surface level stuff. And then apparently, like, reading afterwards, like, some of the history about this movie and, like, what happened, they give you, like, a little result at the end, like, here's what happened. There was a trial, these people were, sentenced, yada, yada. And then it find out that, like, one of these girls had then, like, moved away and, like, changed her name and done other stuff and, like, gone on to live another life, become a published author and whatever. And this movie comes out and people, like, find out she's that girl.
Oh, no.
And, like, turn on this author, right? Like, she gets has consequences for, again, despite having already served the time that she was sentenced as a youth, right?
Whoa.
I believe she's still alive. One of the girls has died, and the other one is still alive as of, today when we're recording this, but is elderly, like in her 80s or something.
I think if people want to see other weird Jackson stuff, Frighteners is also very weird. You can see him working out, trying to, like, get special effects to be good.
Yeah, there's definitely not a special effects thing going on in this.
Right.
There is like certain ways the camera does stuff here. There's like a dreaminess that really reminded me of like the elves in Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
In some ways, not the like soft focus thing that they do with the elves a lot, but definitely a lot more, just like dreamy qualities about what's happening and like the building mania that happens between these girls.
Wow.
It's an interesting movie. It's an interesting movie, I can say. And I like, again, not knowing what was going to happen, like, they sort of like intro you a little bit. That's like, oh, this is about the murders or whatever. You're like, oh, okay. Like, what's going to happen with these murders? Are these girls going to get murdered? Or whatever. Like, and then like, I didn't see what the ending was going to be until like, 2/3 of the way through the movie when it became very clear what was going to happen. Just like, yeah, not at all what I expected. So I hesitate to recommend it unless you're just like into like learning about Peter Jackson and his like oeuvre, I guess. But like it is a very interesting movie for sure. Something I never would have watched if not for, this movie thing that my wife and I are doing.
I did not think I would watch that new Anaconda movie. But I can be easily
one?
Yeah. I can be easily convinced to give Jack Black movies a try. It was pretty bad, actually. It's weird because like the original one's bad, so this one's probably always going to be bad.
So bad in the same way or bad in its own way?
It's bad in its own way. It's bad in a less culty, funny, like I'm making fun of John Voight way, and more in like I don't think they knew what the tone of the thing was until about halfway through. The last 30 minutes are somewhat enjoyable.
See, it's too bad. The like jokes in the first one that aren't intentionally jokes are like some of the best parts.
Right. Yeah. And this one was all intentional jokes, so it's kind of like But there's some fun surprises with characters coming back and things like that. And it was just kind of like really the last 30 minutes were the only part you really wanted to watch, and I wondered why the first half existed. But
Rough.
That's too bad.
C'est la vie, I guess. It was a quick hour and a half. It wasn't too bad.
Oh, hey, I know. Sorry, you want to keep talking about
Nope,
Anaconda?
I'm done.
We watched The Night of the Seven Kingdoms, Andy. Very much they do a good job of like, here are the boundary boxes of this story. We're telling this. And they do a good job inside that box, right?
It is nice because that is the source material. It is a small piece of the universe and doesn't go outside the box, and they do the same thing. Even despite the massive implications, right? You know that the things that have happened in this are going to change the entirety of Westeros.
Well, do you know it if you haven't read the book? Like,
well,
I mean, I know it because I've read these books, but like my wife didn't know, right? Like, so it was interesting to watch it with her, where she was like, "Is this kid like a guy that I know?" And I'm like, "No,
no." But you can tell. You can tell when big things are happening in the show, right? They do a good job of telling you like this guy shouldn't be in the ring fighting.
Yeah, well, they make it clear, and they do a really good job of like making the momentous stuff clearly momentous, right?
Yeah. And the little stuff, right? Like this woman, offends a prince, and there's no huge story behind getting revenge and plotting, and there's no Arya Stark moment of popping up and getting revenge.
She leaves and is never heard from again because that's what happens to people that don't matter.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. Or like, oh, we're gonna get the backstory from Fleabottom. Oh, Fleabottom really sucks, and it's not gonna be a heroic moment down here.
Yeah, they don't fix it. It still sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like I said, I really, really enjoyed it. They did a good job of making the limited, like, here's a few characters, like very few, right? The world of courtly politics is over there. We're kind of doing this one little tournament thing, and then that's it.
I do like the scope of the story so much because they didn't have to chase HBO for a budget. They didn't have to say like, we're going to have this gigantic battle of the Bywater, and you need to give us more money.
There's no 8 million CGI dragons or whatever, right? It's just like some dudes on some horses. Like, it's fine. And it's foggy, so we can like make the shot look like whatever.
Yeah. I was
Thank you, Ireland or New Zealand or wherever.
Yeah. I think they do a lot in Ireland or Scotland.
I think that's right. Yeah. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I hope they do the second book, The Hedge Knight, right?
100% they need to. There's 3 or 4 stories.
I think there are at least 3. I know Martin has said, "Oh, I have so many more I want to tell," or whatever. But like, bro,
believe it when you see it.
He's dead. I don't.
The Weekend at Bernie's.
The death of the author is real with him. Like, he's just over there living his own life, doing something else, producing HBO movies or whatever. Like, he has no pages. That's my belief.
Making video games too.
Sure. Yeah. Go consult on Elden Ring 2. Like, actually though, please do. I would like an Elden Ring 2.
Yeah. Oh man. We're gonna have to table F1 until next week, which is fine because they're gonna be on a break.
Nothing happened between then and now.
So, yeah. So nothing will change, and we can talk about. Michael, you probably are going to be interested in the engineering side of the controversies that are continuing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, there's so much that's like happening that's new, like so many interesting things.
Yeah, and I bet there will be a little bit of news about some planned changes because they get some time to think about it. So we'll do F1 next week in case people were waiting for us to chat about it, because last week we kind of were like, I don't know, let's wait and see, and it's like, the wait and see has come. Yeah, 50 G's, JJ.
Yeah, dude.
It's lucky his whole body wasn't broken.
Wow.
Truly insane crash. I think it's an intrinsic situation with the rules they have. I don't know what the fix is.
Yeah, well, we'll chat about it. I think
but we got to talk about it. Yeah. They're going to do something. I don't know what the deal is, but like from the descriptions and stuff these drivers have talked about, like it feels like the cars are like autopiloting in ways that seem like insane to me that is allowed.
Yeah. There'll be more next week about that. But in the meantime, if people have F1 thoughts, they should send them to...
They can drive those over to podcast@weweregamers.com.
Nice.
They can also get at us on Facebook and Blue Sky @WeWereGamers, and go check out our YouTube, youtube.com/@WeWereGamers.
Yeah, do sick burnouts in our email box.
We do like donuts of all kinds.
Oh, yum.